Hey, I'm Josie Fischels with Iowa Public Radio here at Hinterland 2024 with Amber Bain, known professionally as the Japanese House. Amber, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you standing the heat so far?
Well, I'm really lucky because I get to be under the aircon, so I'm vibing. I'm just vibing in this little trailer. Yeah.
Perfect. Welcome back to Iowa, by the way. My first question was going to be, how are your dogs Joni Jones and Calvin? But Joni is right here on your lap with you today.
Well, yeah, Calvin is back in the UK because I couldn't bring him to the US, sadly. And I also fear that my dad might have stolen him from me and my little sister. But Joni comes pretty much everywhere with me. She actually is a bit high right now because she just went on a flight. So I give her a little something to sedate her when she flies. But to be honest, she doesn't really get that much different to this sedate state. She's a chiller. She loves it. She loves being with the band. She especially loves my tour manager who gives her chicken off the rider every single day. She's now refusing to eat her own food. So,
oops. I was going to ask if they come with you on tour. Does Joni sometimes accompany you?
Yeah, she's been on one long tour, bit of the last tour, and then she's going to be with me till the Greek now. So I went back to get her. I actually did a whole trip to go and get her, and then last night my flight was cancelled, so I wasn't going to make it today to play. And then they managed to do some like clever thing where I flew to Kansas City and then like drove. But yesterday I was like, Joni, you've just cost me a lot of money and lots of people a lot of hassle because it would be completely her fault. But
well, we're very happy.
She's worth it.
We're very happy you're here today. And so we're going to jump in. I'm going to ask, of course, a lot about your latest album. I'm very excited about that. In the end, it always does. There are lots of references, of course, made to your dogs. So I wanted to ask what role Joni and Calvin played in the creation of the album.
God, it's actually so lucky that she's here. Calvin, the main song that Joni influenced was this song that I wrote as I was breaking up with my previous girlfriend, and it was a horrible, hard time for both of us. But then every single day, like I was so sad, obviously, but I still had to go to the studio, walk the dog, and like the whole studio day kind of revolved around walking Joni and caring for her. And I wrote this I had this sort of realization in the park near where I was writing the album in Hackney in London, and I was just like, well, if we do end up breaking up and like I'm heartbroken, like I'll still just be here every day with my little Joni Jones. And it kind of inspired a song called One for Sorry, Two for Joni Jones, which I wrote the lyrics for in sort of like a frantic fashion. I had this big long page of lyrics, and then I brought it into the studio, and I already had the music and I had the lyrics, but I didn't have the melody, or because it was kind of just like a long rambling. And Gavin from Moona was in the studio that day, and she was like, I'll give it a go if you want. And she sang in front of we pressed play. She'd never really heard the music. We pressed play, and she sort of just freestyled these lyrics that she'd not read before. And then she turned around, and me and Chloe were just like in tears. And it hasn't changed. It was like pretty much exactly the same as to what she wrote on the spot. So yeah, it was crazy.
That's beautiful. Thank you for telling me that story. So I'm gonna go back to In the End It Always Does. You lead with Boyhood, which was originally released as a single, which openly explores queerness and self-discovery.
That song was the last one I finished on the record, so I had like booked a flight to LA. Classic, like going through a breakup, I'm gonna go to LA and like try and, I don't know, write loads of songs and go like get away basically. So I was like, I have to finish the record before I leave. So I literally had my suitcase in the studio, and then I finished writing the lyrics for it on the last day. And there's something about it that had always, even before the lyrics were finalised, it had always been this like, we'd always referenced this like queer feeling about it, and we kind of produced it alongside this video of these gay cowboy dance group, and it like fit perfectly. It was exactly the right BPM and stuff. And so it kind of felt like the most powerful one to go with at the start. And I love playing that song. It's probably my favourite song to play live. Well, 1 out of 3. I don't know.
Can I ask about the other 2?
Well, I like playing my new song, Smiley Face, a lot. Because I feel like that's the first song I've ever played before it was released. And I loved doing that. And now I've really got to see how people learn it in real time and like sing along, and people seem to react really well to it. So yeah.
I do have a song or a question. A song. I do have a question about Smiley Face, because I wanted to congratulate you on your recent engagement to your fiancée Alyssa. In Smiley Face, we do get a glimpse into your love story and the happiness this partnership has brought you. Can we expect to hear more love songs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm writing essentially like a love album. And it's not all like the same sort of frantic, crazed happiness as Smiley Face. There's still like, I wanted to explore the poignance in happiness rather than the poignance in sadness. I think I find it easier to be sort of creatively artistic and like, I guess more eloquent about about feelings that come from like deep sadness and pain. And actually find it really hard to write about happiness without sort of cringing myself out. And so there's kind of been this release of, in order to like write Smiley Face, for example, I just had to sort of release any kind of care about what other people think and sort of embrace the really cheesy stuff I wanted to say, or like the really like, cheesy is the wrong word, I guess, like elated stuff that I wanted to say. And I just wanted to write something that narrated our relationship, because I think it's a really special relationship, and I think I want to document it because I want to remember everything. Yeah.
Absolutely. So a recurring theme visited in the end it always does is the cyclical nature of life, relationships, self, which of course is demonstrated in the cover art. What personal discoveries did you make perhaps about these cycles while recording?
I kind of made all these discoveries post-album. Like when I write songs, I sort of realise what they're about after the song's written. I don't really know what I'm talking about when I'm sort of writing it down. And then I sort of analyse it afterwards and notice the patterns. And like, I think that's the same with myself. Like, I don't notice the patterns as I'm doing things. I kind of have to sit down afterwards and be like, analyse myself and like think about why I'm doing things and why things keep happening again. And I do analyse myself a lot because I want to grow. And I thought, yeah, I noticed these, I come back to a similar place quite a lot, and I'm just wanting to like break cycles and learn each time, but also accept that it inevitably it is this kind of cycle. Like, that's what it's all about, you know? I mean, it doesn't really make that much sense, but you know what I mean?
No, I do know.
I don't want to say the circle of life, but do you know what I mean? It's like, we're all just flying around. Yeah.
No, I completely get what you mean about like having to experience something and do something before really settling with like what those feelings were. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. So I'm going to keep it short here and just ask what other overarching themes you hope to infuse your music with.
I never really have any goals when I'm writing music. Like, I can't like go and sit in a room and be like, right. I mean, rarely. Maybe I can go and be like, right, let's write a fun, like, dancey country song. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's good to give yourself little themes, but when I'm lyrically, I can't really do that. I just have to see what happens, and sometimes it takes ages, and sometimes it comes straight away. But the only goal I have really is just to like what I'm doing. I really love that album, and I don't want to, like, even still now, and usually by this point I'd be like picking it apart, telling myself how shit it is, but actually I'm like, I love that album. And so I want to do the same again, and I just want to I think the only way you can do that is just being honest in your music and honest in your lyrics, and like honest when you like stuff and honest when you don't, and surrounding yourself with people that really care about the music and just like forget about basically everything else. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want your fans to know, your listeners?
This is a hard question because now I can't think of anything. Like, I guess I'll just say thank you. Thanks for listening.
It's your first Hinterland, right?
Yes.
Congratulations. We're very excited.